Hey guys, I'm back. So trying to manipulate the splash image got really tricky using the UI elements because the tutorials don't really explain that. So what we're going to do is we're actually just going to delete all of it. And I made a list of what we need to rebuild. It's not a problem. We're going to delete it. We're going to create a canvas because that's what we saw in the tutorial. And we should stick with what we know works and how it works. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to create a button. Actually, let me create a text object. That is going to be our score. And we're going to write in score. And what we want to do is I'm just going to scroll out and we're going to put our score, translate it rather, right up there. Perfect. Go back to our canvas, create a new UI text object. That's going to be our timer. And we're going to put timer, or time rather, colon, that's fine. We'll drag that right up over here. It's perfect for our purposes. We have score time. We got our start button. So game object UI start button. Call it a start button. It's fine. And we've got some sprites for that. Let's just go grab our sprites from the example game. That'll be the fastest thing to do. So let's click on our start button. Now let's drag in a start sprite. That's fine. Its position is fine. We're not going to go crazy with this stuff for right now. Let's create a, oops, we can do a restart button. And drag in the restart. That's fine. We don't have to go crazy with those. Oops, want that to be restart. Perfect. Start and restart. We want to create a game over label. Make that text. Game over. And it will say game over. And again, that position is fine. We don't have to go crazy with these things right now. Restart button. The splash image. So on the canvas, UI image, we'll call it the splash image. And on that, we're going to put our level 1. And we can see that it's not nearly as large as we want. So we can go ahead and make it bigger. That does the trick. That's pretty big. Okay, and that should do it. That's all we need for right now. And what we're going to have to do, since we've created these, is we have to go into the game controller and tell the game controller where they are so that the game controller can figure it out. So let's go into game controller. You can see all this stuff is missing. And that's no problem. We're just going to repopulate it. So, oops. Just Control Z if you ever do something you didn't mean to do. So the timer text, timer. Start button. Restart button. Okay, doesn't like our... Oh, that's why. Okay. No problem, we can fix that. Go to our game over text. Restart, what are we missing here? The splash screen. So let's go inside the game controller. This probably won't take too long. Find the game controller. Let's fire that up in mono develop, and I think we just need to change this. So we're going to call this game object. Now it should be happy. Let's save that. And we'll go back into our game controller, and now we should be able to drag our timer in. Oh, it's upset. Let's see what it's upset about. Okay. Let's go back in and take another peek. See here. So we don't want this to be a game object, we want this to be text. To be public. Oh, and we might need the Unity Engine UI using Unity Engine UI. And now I think our text will be happier. Not texture, but text. .ui. And now it's happy. So let's save it. Let's go back into our screen. Our console should clear up. There it goes. Now we go into our game controller, and we should be able to drag over our timer text. Happy as a clam. And we should be good. So let's run it. Let's see what happens. Back, I finished troubleshooting the score text box and the timer text box, and I could swear the demo video had the same problem, and it just took me forever to figure it out. The issue was that, let me zoom in on our boxes here. If the default height was set at 30, which meant, in fact, that let me do it on the timer, that our time didn't have enough room to display the text. So if we press play and we go into our timer, so I did a lot of different things to troubleshoot this. I'm kind of skipping ahead here. I thought that maybe the program was wrong, but then I started running some testing, and I could see here on the side of the screen the timer's working properly. It's just not updating to the time text. So I went back and I checked the program, and I checked the object, and then I remade the object, and I double checked the program, and I removed some information from the script to make it run properly, and it did. But so, in any case, long story short, we just need to change the height to 60 to make room for our text. I need to do the same thing on the score side, make that 60. And so the good news is that this was an easy fix. You guys probably knew what it was, or probably yelling it through the screen. But since I didn't, and it took me a little while to figure it out, here we go. Press start, and now we should see that our score is going up positively and our time is running out. So that is as it should be. So to recap, let's take a look. We'll go back into our game here. I'm scrolling out on the canvas. I'm going to scroll in on the game. So this is what we have so far. And the next steps for us are going to be to modify the background to make the background more like what we had expected it to be for our game.